Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to World of Tanks. So I did the Valentine review just before the update came out, and it hasn't been uploaded, so I'm instead going to do it again. This will be an angry review because I just hate this tank so much. So, starting off, we will be mostly comparing it to the Valentine II, which is another Tier 4 light tank, and it was the original Valentine in the game before the British came along with this Valentine in the regular tech tree in order to get to the Archer. Um, and, well, the Valentine II is a much better tank than this thing, because, let's start off, survivability. So, looking at the Valentine II, what do we notice? Well, 380 hit points. 60 hull armor all around, 65 turret armor all around. So it's a light tank, but it has got medium tank health, and no, heavy tank, tier 4 heavy tank armor, and it's tier 4 light. Also, this thing only sees its own tier. It will never see tier 5s, it will never see tier 6s, it will only ever see tier 4s or 3s, if there happen to be tier 3s in your game. So it will only see its own tier, which makes it very fun to play, because you definitely need it with that gun, but we'll go over the guns later. So 380 hit points, 60, 60, 60, 65, 65, 65. What do we notice? 310 with the stock turret. Hold on, do I notice a resemblance between this turret and this turret? Oh look, they're basically the same. Let's have a look at this. Well, here's the Valentine II turret. What's this turret? That's the Valentine Mark I turret. Well, surely they should be the same, right? No. 65 all round. 65, 60, 65. Okay. 48, turret traverse. 44, turret traverse. Okay. 350 meters view range. 330 meters view range. 2000 weight. 2750 weight. Well, you're now probably saying, well, the Valentine II, that's the second modification of the turret. I mean, the Valentine Mark I turret was the first ever turret made. I mean, obviously that one's going to be better because it was upgraded. Okay, so this is the Valentine II turret. Okay, fully upgraded, a Valentine like this in the regular tech tree will become a Valentine Mark 11 due to the fact that it gets the Valentine Mark 11. There you go, Mark 11 Valentine turret. It will also be able to mount a 75mm as its main gun. Also, well, it has Valentine Mark 6 tracks, but fully upgraded, this thing's basically a Mark 11 Valentine. So, the Valentine Mark II turret, 65 all round, it's got decent stats. Let's look at the Mark 11. You expect the Mark 11 turret to be better than this turret, wouldn't you? No. No. So, 65 around, 65, 60, 65 once again. Okay. Still 48 degrees per second traverse speed. It's got worse traverse speed than the Valentine 1 turret. If we have a look here, that has 44. This has 40. Okay. 350 view range. 340 view range. 2000 weight. 4530 weight. So the turrets aren't as good as the premium Valentine II turret. Okay, what about the hit points? Surely that upgraded turret will give extra hit points. Yeah, it gives 30, up to 340 hit points, which is still 40 less than the Valentine II. And that's a light tank. This is also a light tank. Why doesn't this tank have the same hit points as this tank? Well, it's because this is a Russian Valentine. It was also the first Valentine introduced to World of Tanks. It also probably has something to do with the gun that it mounts, and the fact that it will probably need that hit points if it wants to get anything done with this gun. Okay, we can see that. Okay, so the hull armor is the same because it's the same chassis. Okay, turret armor is worse at the side, but it's the same at the front and the rear. Okay, that's not much. That's not much to shout over. Okay then, let's have a look at mobility, shall we? So, looking at the Valentine II here. Well, let's purchase these tracks and fit them on. And let's fully upgrade the engine, shall we? Okay. So, let's have a look at a fully upgraded Valentine. Let's just buy it. Because I sold this and I really didn't want to buy it back, but I just had to. Because, yeah. So, let's see. let's fit the 6-pounder, because that's the gun that I was playing through it with, because I was that unfortunate to have to actually play it. So, weight load limit. 16.1/16.9 on its Valentine tracks, including equipment. Okay, so it weighs 16.1 tons with a 16.9 load limit. Okay, this weighs 18.5 tons with a 20 load limit. Okay, surely it has a more beefier top engine. Well, 140 engine power for the Valentine II, 165 horsepower engine for the Valentine. Okay, what's this? What's the engine? What's the engine name? ACA 190 on the Valentine. Okay, well, surely if that's got 140, surely the same engine on this thing also has 140 horsepower. No, 131. Why, you ask? Well, because it's Russian, isn't it? It's powered on vodka. So, it gets 9 more horsepower than the British one. Okay. But surely that means that this Valentine's got a better power to weight ratio than the Valentine II, because this Valentine's got a more powerful engine. And it also weighs more. Let's have a look at the horsepower. 8.72. Okay. 8.9. It's not that much better. So, okay, so I'll give you the fact that it does have a slightly better horsepower per ton ratio, bearing in mind that we haven't loaded up any equipment on it, and we haven't loaded up any consumables. Also, we don't have ammunition. Well, actually, we do have ammunition loaded because I have some spare. I have some spare from somewhere. So it does have ammo loaded. However, it doesn't have equipment, which would increase the weight, and it also doesn't have equipment. Okay. Well, consumables. Okay, so it has better horsepower per ton ratio. Alright. Let's have a look at the top speed, shall we? The Valentine II. 32.12. Okay, that's decent enough for top speed. I mean, it weighs a lot, so you can expect it to not be as fast as a regular light tank. It's sort of like the AMX-40. That also weighs a fair amount, and that also has basically the same horsepower per ton, and it doesn't reach 50. It reaches about the same as the Valentine II. So okay, 32. That you can keep up with people in this tank. So okay, so that's decent enough. Okay, let's have a look at the Valentine, because the Valentine has got a better specific horsepower per ton ratio. It also has a more beefier engine for a slightly more weight. Surely it goes faster. No, it goes slower. 24 and 10. Yeah, there's your Valentine for you. So this Valentine has got slightly better horsepower per ton ratio with a slightly more beefier engine, but weighs slightly more. It has a worse top speed and a worse reverse speed. Well, surely the upgraded tracks will be better than the Valentine II suspension, surely. Well, let's have a look. This has got 50 traverse speed. Okay, weighs 4,000, has a 4,000 weight, 50 degrees per second. Yeah, 50 traverse speed. So let's have a look at the Valentine. What's the upgraded track say? A 42 degrees per second traverse speed, and it weighs slightly less. So it doesn't traverse as well. So let's tally up what we've got so far. So far, it's got less hit points. It has worse side turret armor, albeit only 5mm less. It has worse top speed and worse reverse speed, and it has a worse traverse speed than the Valentine II. It does have slightly better specific horsepower per ton ratio, but not by much because I don't actually have any equipment fitted. Okay. So far the Valentine is not looking as good as the Valentine II, and in fact it's looking fairly poor. Well, let's have a look at concealment, because it's a light tank, surely it has decent enough concealment. Well, 17.8. Let's have a look at the Valentine II. 21. Okay. Whilst moving, 13.4. Let's have a look at the Valentine II. Still 21. It's because it's a light tank. This is also a light tank. Why does it not have as good concealment when moving? Because it's crap, that's why. So, you can spot it easier than basically the same tank in the Russian tech tree. Okay, so there's another thing to add to the list. It's more easily spotted than the Valentine. It goes slower, has a worse traverse speed, slightly less armor, and a slightly better power to weight ratio. But a worse top speed and reverse speed. But surely the guns are better, yes? That's a matter of opinion. Well, Let's leave the guns right now. Let's just have a look at the spotting range. Well, you know, you've got 340 meters view range. Okay, that's 350 for that, so it has worse view range. Surely the radio, though, the Valentine II only has its stock 570 signal range. Surely the Valentine has got a better signal range. Well, let's have a look. 570 meters. Let's look at the Valentine. 450. No, it has less signal range and less view range, and it's a light tank seeing tier 6s with less health. It can get one-shotted very easily by tier 6s and some tier 5s. Surely the guns are better. I mean, you've put the guns off for long enough. Surely the guns are going to be better than the Valentine. Well, let's just have a look, shall we? So the Valentine II here has got a 45mm 20 KL, which is the stock gun on a on a tier 3 T70. It's the stock gun, and it's not a particularly good gun. 51mm of average penetration with standard AP, 84 with APCR, 23 with HE, 47 across the board, 62. 0.41 dispersion, 1.7 second aiming time, 250 weight. And that's not particularly good, but you can make it work because you only see your own tier. Well, surely the Valentine's got better guns. Well, you've got a choice of two top guns. You've got the 75mm Mark V, and you've also got the 6-pounder gun Mark V. Let's leave the 6-pounder for now because I want to rant about this thing, which is the 75mm. 75 caliber, 9.1 rate of fire rounds per minute, 91 average pen, 144 with APCR, and 38 with average pen, 110 average damage with its standard ammunition, which is standard. That's standard average damage. 175 with high explosive, 0.41 dispersion, horrible 2.5 second aiming time, weighs 500. So the penetration is not very good. With APCR, yes, that's all right penetration. That's pretty good penetration. It has standard damage. High explosive is standard penetration, but it's that thing which just doesn't work. And if we have a look, well, with this gun, with a 50% crew, you're looking at around an 8-second reload. Let's just compare the same gun on the Valentine to the same gun on the Churchill 1. So here we go, let's have a look. It's this one, 75mm Mark V. So they're both the same. Alright. I can accept that. There you go. 9.1 to 20 rounds per minute, yeah. 0.42 dispersion. 0.41 there, yeah. 1.9 second aiming time. That's got that. Alright. Can I actually select that, or can I not? Come on. Characteristics. No, it just keeps bringing up this thing. Alright, so we'll just compare it this way. So, yeah, 9.1. Well, actually, no. This has got 9.1 rate of fire rounds per minute. This has got a 20 rounds per minute rate of fire. With the same penetration and same average... with the same penetration, same average damage, slightly more inaccurate, better aiming time. This is the thing on the Churchill, and that's not a particularly good gun on the Churchill. It's even worse on the Valentine. The only thing that the Valentine has got over the same gun on the Churchill is the fact that it has 0.41 dispersion instead of 0.42. Okay, so that's not a particularly good gun. What's the alternative if I don't want to use that? Well, it's a 6-pounder. Well, surely a 6-pounder's got decent enough rate of fire. I mean, we've already seen it on things like the Crusader. Yes, the Crusader does have a very good rate of fire on its 6-pounder. Let's just have a look at the 6-pounder on the Valentine, which is the gun that I was using on the Valentine. Well, it's 57mm, yeah, that's standard, that's 6-pounder. 13.3 rate of fire rounds per minute. Usually it's double that. Well, there surely must be a reason. 110 average pen, 180, 30, 75, 7500, yeah, that's standard 6-pounder. 0.41 dispersion, yeah, that's also standard 6-pounder. Horrible aim time again, 2.5 seconds, 450 weight. Okay, so say I want to use this, how does it compare to something like the Crusader's gun? Surely it's the same. Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Well, let's just bring it up. It's a Mark V 6-pounder. Let's just go here, research, there you go. So, There you go, there it is. The top gun on the Crusader light tank is once again a 6-pounder Mark V. It even says you can mount it on the Crusader, the Churchill 7, the Churchill 1, the Cromwell, the Sherman 3. So it's a multi-purpose thing, so surely they're the same. Well, let's bring up the characteristics here. Well, actually, no, we can't. Okay, let's have a look here. 27.3 rate of fire rounds per minute. That's slightly more than 13.3, isn't it? Yes, it is. The 6-pounder on the Valentine with a 50% crew reloads in about 5.7 seconds. On this thing, it's about 1.98 with 100% crew, gun rammer, blah blah blah. So it has better rate of fire on the Crusader. Okay, standard. Average damage is the same. Average penetration is also the same. Well, let's have a look at the dispersion. Same dispersion, okay. What about the aim time? Surely that's the same. No, the Valentine's worse. 2.5 compared to the 2.3 on the Crusader. They weigh the same, however. So the Valentine's 6-pounder, let's just tally this up, shall we, to the same gun on a Tier 5 tank here. Just comparing it here to the Crusader. Crusader has got a better rate of fire and a better aim time. The Valentine has got exactly the same as the same gun on the Crusader, but it has a worse aim time and a worse rate of fire. But surely the attraction of the 6-pounder is that even though it's not that much alpha damage, you can pump out a lot of them and that damage will quickly tally up. Yeah, that's the whole idea about it. Not for the Valentine. No, you're stuck with that 75 average damage, but you're doing that every 5 seconds. So, are those guns better than the Valentine II's gun? No, not really, because I can easily get 2 or 3 kills in this tank in a game. I'm lucky if I hit anything in a game with this tank, because bearing in mind, this is a premium tank that gets not only preferential matchmaking, but super preferential matchmaking, because it only sees Tier 4s. This thing sees Tier 6s with, let's tally this up, shall we, with worse hit points than the Valentine II, worse side turret armor than the Valentine II, a slower top speed and reverse speed, worse hull traverse, worse view range and a worse radio than the Valentine II, and arguably worse guns than the Valentine II. So why should I get this tank? To get to the Archer. The same thing as the M3 Lee. Why should I get the M3 Lee? To get to the Sherman or the T1 Heavy. That's the only reason you're going to be going through it. I spent 7,200 free XP without using gold to convert free XP to actually get from this tank to the Archer. It was the best decision ever. Because I like the Archer, even if I'm not winning any games in the Archer, I do like it. However, I don't like this tank, because the armor is decent enough at Tier 4. Seeing Tier 5s and 6s, the armor is negligible. Plus, you're a light tank, which means that you have less health than a medium or heavy tank at Tier 4. And because you're a light tank, you have less health and you're meant to spot things. However, many heavy tanks are actually faster than you, so you don't actually get spot points because you can't spot anything. And even if you do get up to the front line first, somehow, your view range really isn't that good. I mean, a medium tank has got better view range than this. 330, alright, that's slightly less, but let's look at this thing. 350 view range. Yeah, this is a medium tank. This is a light tank. Light tanks are supposed to have better view range than medium tanks, but this one doesn't. Plus, it has a crap radio. 450 signal range just isn't good enough. But then you come on to the gun selection. So you can either mount the 75 or the 6-pounder. The 75, the average penetration is crap. You're not going to kill anything. Plus, if you miss or bounce, you have 8 seconds that you have to spend reloading before you can fire and bounce again. And if you do penetrate, you do pretty decent enough damage, but you just don't do it quick enough, because you'll die by the time you fire one shot and bounce it or miss it, because the accuracy really isn't that good. Then you've got the 6-pounder, which is the better gun of the two because it has better penetration. That's the reason that I went with it, because it has better penetration, because it reloads slightly faster, even if it's not as good as a comparable gun on, a Tier 5, which has got like double the rate of fire. Even if it doesn't shoot as quick as that, it's likely to penetrate whatever it's shooting at, even if it only does 75 average damage. So going with that is a better thing. However, the aim times just are terrible. The the reload time, rate of fire, 5.6 seconds just isn't good enough for a 57mm gun. I mean, what else do I have a 57mm gun on? I mean, the universal carrier can mount a 6-pounder on it. Let me have a look. There you go, 80 gun Mark II. 19.4. That's the gun that you can mount on this. I mean, well, here you go, 19.4. Yeah, there you go. That's the guns that that's the 6-pounder that you can mount on the universal carrier if you want. It's even got a better reload than the same gun than a comparable gun on a tier 4 light tank. I mean, the whole reason that it's got less health than this thing is because it's a light tank. So it's meant to have less health, and it's meant to get up to the front quickly and spot it. But it's an infantry tank. That's the whole reason that this thing was designed in World War II, or before World War II possibly, was as an infantry tank to keep up with the infantry. That's not how it works. There aren't infantry to support in World of Tanks. It's classed as a light tank because that's basically what it is. It's a light tank, but it's just crap compared to this thing. I mean, after playing this thing, I went back and played the Valentine II a whole load. I mean, my commander is getting... Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let me just... there you go. There you go. I mean, he's at 92% trained, because I didn't... When I got this tank, I didn't have enough gold to actually get them up to 100% instantly, so instead just playing through it. I mean, but after playing the British Valentine, this Valentine just seemed amazing. I just loved playing it because I could actually do things in it. You can't do it in that because it's slower. It's slower with less health, sees tier 6s and tier 5s with worse guns. Just absolutely awful. I mean, you can fit various things. You can fit vertical coils. Improved vents you'll probably want to fit. Light spore liner wouldn't be a bad idea because it's got decent armor. It's got decent armor at tier 4. Tier 5s and 6s, even with a light spore liner, you'll get one-shotted by artillery. Or high explosive, you'll get one-shotted because you don't have the health to survive it. So, you have decent enough armor at tier 4. That would be warranted on tier 4. It's amazing on the Valentine II. It's not on this. Because the Valentine II only sees tier 4s. So that is a useful thing on that, but not on that. Camonet, no. You're unlikely to get to the battle before it's over. I mean, if you're camping around in this thing, you're not doing it right. I mean, you're supposed to keep moving in order to actually see anything, let alone shoot at it. So no. Amarak keeps getting damaged, maybe if you want. Binos, once again, no. Coated optics, you'll probably want to actually see anything once you get up to the front. Gun lane drive, you'll definitely want, because 2.5 second aiming time is crap. It's horrible aim time. You'll definitely want that. I mean, even going over the crew, the commander is also the gunner and radio operator, the driver is just the driver, the loader is just the loader. On the Valentine II, they at least balanced it out slightly. The commander is only the commander and gunner. The loader is only the loader and radio operator, the driver is just the driver. They've sort of balanced it out. The Valentine II, they haven't. Everything is bunged on the commander, so if you lose him, you're stuffed. Because your view range will go down, your aim will go down, and your radio will go down, which is the things that light tanks need. Light tanks need to be able to see things and relay it to people, to the rest of their team. If this guy goes down, your entire operation just goes down, because all you have left is a loader and a driver. I mean, just looking at this guy, looking at the skills here, look at all these skills that he has to go through. I mean, signal boosting you'll want, view range you'll want, relay you'll want to hold off on until you get that. I mean, a deadeye you'll probably want, because if you manage to hit and penetrate, congrats to you, you'll want to do something with it, so you'll want to get deadeye. Designate target. It would work if the 6-pounder actually had a good rate of fire, but it doesn't. So you could go with that, but you're unlikely to spot things in order to make that worthwhile for you. So Sixth Sense you'll probably want, because otherwise you'll die. Eagle Eye is just nice to have a look at people, if you can actually get up to the front to see people. Recon you'll want. I mean, then you've got your various common skills, and that's all just for the commander. I mean, the loader has got... No, the driver's got a slightly better job of it. You'll want clutch braking, you'll want off-road driving, because going through an off-roady bit in this tank, you go at TOG speed, and the TOG is not very fast. You'll want off-road driving and that thing. I mean, if your engine gets set on fire, you're going to burn out pretty quick before you can even use your fire extinguisher. I mean, if you're firing on the move, you're doing it wrong, because you don't want to be wasting reload times firing at stuff on the move when you don't have a chance to hit it. Controlled impact would work because you have the armor, but you don't have the speed, so you won't want that. Then you've got your various common skills. I mean, even looking at the loader. Looking at the loader here, I mean, safe stowage in case your ammo rack keeps getting damaged. Adrenaline rush. Yeah, adrenaline rush, you'll likely die in one hit, so you'll go from 100% hit points. Screw going down to 10% hit points, you'll go down to 0% hit points, and you'll die. So there's not really much point on this in a tier 6 game, or even a tier 5 game. I mean, getting hit by a Churchill, say, a Churchill 1 with the 75, getting hit by that once in the Valentine, you'll have half your health gone. I mean, there you go. Many things will just take you down to half health in one shot. You'll get two-shotted. It's very easy to be done in the Valentine. I mean, intuition, if you're loading APCR, which you'll probably want if you're using either of these guns, because you'll want to actually hit things when you actually manage to see them. So, and then you've got your common skills. I mean, if you want, you can fit various things in here. You can put puddings in tea if you want, but while you're sticking with this, just free XP past it like people do with the Grant the Lee. Yeah, anything. I mean, the only good point about the Valentine is that it leads to the Archer. That's the only good points. I mean, literally nothing from the Valentine carries over, because here's the top radio for that thing. What's the radio set? The radio set Mark II, isn't it? Yeah, this looks like it. Grant, Crusader, Stuart, Cromwell, Matilda, Valentine, there you go. The radio will carry around, but it's not even the top radio. Other than that, you have to research everything for the Archer. Like, literally everything that you research for the Valentine is literally just for the Valentine. Even the the top engine is only for the Valentine, Valentine AT, Bishop. Well, there's the Archer's. There's the Archer's stock engine right there. There you go, 165 horsepower. That's the stock Archer engine. Nothing from the Valentine carries over. None of the guns, none of the radios, apart from this thing, which you'll probably have researched from the Stuart 1.5 or the Cruiser, maybe. Yeah, Cruiser Mark II. You'll already have that research. So everything from the Valentine you research just for the Valentine. So you're spending a lot of it getting this thing up to a place where you can try and get some XP, and it's just you don't even carry around a lot of 57mm ammo. You carry around 44 of them. That's not much. It's just a horrible tank. Just free XP through it. And that is the Valentine review, because it's just absolutely just awful. It's awful. The Valentine II. If you want to play a Valentine, go and buy this thing. It's like a couple of pounds in the EU premium shop. It's in the tech tree for like not much. Let's have a look. Russian tech tree. Valentine II. There you go. 1,000 gold. Costs 1,000 gold, and it's the best 1,000 gold you'll spend if you're looking for a Valentine, because this thing is really fun. It's really strong at tier 4, even if it doesn't have a particularly good gun, but it is really good compared to the Valentine. I mean, I'm just going to sell this thing now because I'm at the end of the review. I literally just rebought this thing for the review. There you go. This is how to play the Valentine. Sell 98284. That's how to play the Valentine. And that's it. I'll thank you for watching, and goodbye.